What's up? Welcome to another vlog. I just made it to the studio. I'm running a few minutes behind, and today we have two Content is Profit interviews, which I'm gonna be taking you around and walking you through the process that we have for our show. How to book a person, how to connect with them, what the process is before the interview, during the interview, and then post-interview. This is the process that we use to scale our business, build our studio, live the entrepreneurship life that we've been living. So come with me. Fonzi is waiting for me up there. So let's see if we can make it in time and hit the first interview. And then right after that, we'll go on to equipment and the setup and different things that you might want to learn about. All right, let's go to the studio. You.
Come on.
What's up?
We're gonna interview Justin Moore. We're getting ready.
Yes.
How do I put this thing on?
Bruh. Yeah, let me help you out. What are we doing? What's that? Show me.
Boom. This is the Elgato prompter.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Pretty legit. It has like a little second monitor here that you can connect to your computer and then transfer the screen, and you can see everything here. You can actually put your guest on the screen and on the teleprompter, right? Your camera is shooting from behind here, and it actually looks like you're doing eye contact with the person rather than talking to the camera awkwardly, which, you know, most people hate.
So, yeah. So
pretty
let's
cool stuff.
let's set it up and we'll talk to Justin. All right, in the final moments of the setup, we actually have to tell the guest for about 5 minutes. Yeah, don't do this at home. We're trying a new setup 10 minutes before, but I'll walk you through kind of like what we did, and then yeah. All right.
I am so disappointed in you. You want to know why?
Because we don't have the Golden Speedo.
Justin, you don't know what's under the pants.
That's true, and I don't think I want to.
Hi, Fonzi. What just happened?
Well, we had an awesome podcast episode with the one and only Justin Moore, sponsor Magnet. We had an amazing conversation, and right before the podcast, he was sharing with us, like, dude, I might sell my 1,000 copy in the show while we're talking, you know? So if that happens, I'm gonna like lose. And I was like, awesome. So I was like, 1 second, and I muted our podcast. I was like, bro, I'm gonna buy the books. We're gonna be that 1,000. So we bought 10 copies of the book, get him over the line, right? I kind of waited. I had the order ready, and I waited a little bit while we were in the conversation, and then I hit to the purchase button. And in the middle of the conversation, he just went like, dude, I can't believe it. And then when he saw the name of who bought it, he's like, oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. So it was pretty cool because, I mean, Justin first, he's absolutely amazing. Yeah. We love what he talks about. He's our go-to sponsor person, 100%. Like, everybody that comes to us wanting to know more about sponsorships, we always redirect them to Justin. It's like, dude, you gotta talk to Justin. He even left a little note here on the book when he sent it to us. Yeah. I'll say his handwriting is kind of crazy. Dr. handwriting. Dr. handwriting. But I love it, man. It's so cool to have a personalized book from a really good friend that came to the podcast.
Part of the appeal on podcasts, right? Like, a lot of people might jumping on Zoom calls or different things that, like, they're very similar, right? Like the flow of it. We jump on a Zoom call, we have this conversation, and then we move on. On our side, we recognize, I think, like episode 10 or 16, that the experience on the show was going to be a differentiator for us as building relationships, right? We talk on the podcast a lot of, how can we make this a great experience for the guest? And, it goes with like live music, for example, with like our roadcaster right here. That's an element, or these funny sounds, or like something that goes with your personality. And in this case, it's like, how can you create like a memorable experience? So that idea, Fonzi, finally he had a great idea. But just looking at his face, that was awesome. And, we'll be forever in his mind. And he was actually like very genuinely grateful that we did that for him. And again, like, what are those small moments, like if you have a podcast or collaborating with content, that you can, add that a little extra spice? Normally, we do like an intro live for the podcast. In this specific case, we really wanted to dive in straight to the information. So what we'll do is we'll just record a quick intro right now, specifically for that episode. Hey guys, welcome back to Content is Profit. Oh, yeah. You have to hit record. Okay, there we go. Hey guys, welcome back to Content is Profit. All right, So I'm gonna walk you a little bit about with the jerry rig that we have here for the podcast. Usually we started recording. I mean, when we first started the show, we started recording with our phone into a Skype interview in our old office. Then we moved into a webcam in one of the in our house studio or my extra room. About a year ago, we purchased a studio. And it was a studio that was initially designed for audio only. Quick look on the studio. Obviously you have the black curtains right here, and then the table. You could have, obviously you have the Rodecaster Pro, a couple mics, and then that's it. But on this side, there's movable webcam or movable cams that we brought into our studio. So we have the CVE10s, that's one of them. Then we have this guy right here. It's also a CVE10 with the prompter. And then obviously we don't have a production table, as you can tell. Okay, so what we did was we have our main laptop that kind of streams and run our streaming program. We use Riverside, and then that's connected through, here I'm gonna close this. That's connected through this dock with power, audio to the Rodecaster, and then this guy right here goes to the camera, right? And then there's another connection here that goes to the Elgato prompter. Now this guy, we have a camera right here, which is a CVE10. Cool things about the CVE10s is that you can actually use them as webcams. They're pretty cool for vlogging. What we found is that if you use them past an hour, you can overheat them. That's what we found. So on this studio, the temperature is pretty cold, but again, after an hour of running, they start to get the heating warning. So we might have to upgrade this equipment and see if we can do longer interviews. So if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments right below, but for now it's working. So that's exactly what happened to the interview. Is we had to cut it off because the camera completely shut off. So this screen right here kind of goes over the camera, so there's no light kind of going through, but I left a little open and opened the screen so then it could breathe a little. So anyways, that's our jerry rig setup for today. We're about to get ready. We continue to test like what's a good setup for the studio. Keep in mind we rent out these rooms for other people, so camera position might change. They might not need the prompter. They might just watch the person on the other screen, and we're continuously moving. I mean, this setup has changed probably like 7 times, but the important thing is find something that works for you that's frictionless. Dream setup could be something a Content is Profit studio where we walk in and everything is set up. So let's get ready for the second interview and do it all over again. Let's go. Okay, interview number 2. We have camera number 1 pointing us at both of us here in the Elgato prompter, and then we have a camera pointing at Fonzi, and then we have another camera pointing at me. So we've done in the past where we have either the 2 cameras or just 1 camera. So now we're testing all 3, and our amazing producer is gonna have a ton of fun. Sweet, let's go into the interview. You might be wondering, why podcasting? Well, podcasting for us, it changed our life. And if you want to check out more of our episodes, you can go to contentisprofit.com, or you can just search Content is Profit. We're everywhere. I think we've recorded more than 560 episodes right now. Podcasting changed our life. When we started, we had no idea really what we were doing, and we kind of evolve with time, like you've seen in the video, like I've explained before. But we really started podcasting as a Hail Mary in our business. We have a service based business, so we provide fractional content teams to different companies, and we discovered very quickly that with the people that we were talking on the show, behind it there was an opportunity. So I'm going to show you really quick kind of like our structure on how we bring people into our world, our show, and what we do after, and then how does that translate into an opportunity. But this is a little bit of the system that we've shown quite a few people here in the studio and the people that communicate with us. And I think it's really incredible to be able to bring people into your own show and provide an opportunity. So here is a little framework that we used since almost like day 1 of the show that has helped us move the needle forward. So right here in the middle, you have our interview, which is what you saw today. That for us is like the main event, right? This is where we bring our guests. That can be they could be a potential opportunity. Some of them have become customers, some of them have bring us referrals, some of them had invited us to their events so we can present our message. to other people. The number one way that people get into our show is through referrals. Referrals, I can't even spell. So if they come referred by somebody that has been on the show, by a good fit, they come and immediately they bypass part of the process, right? We ask our guests like who's our ideal guest, and that could be somebody that is at a certain level in the business side that have been publishing. So if you're starting a podcast or if you have a podcast, think about who's that ideal guest for you. If it's not a referral, then we go through a framework that we have, which is we have an 11-minute call. So if we're prospecting with somebody, or if that person, or if somebody reaches out to us, we hop in an 11-minute call. Why 11 minutes? It sounds different. It's not a 30-minute call. It's not an hour call. It's very quick to identify if there's going to be a good fit. And basically, we just ask them a couple of questions based on who our ideal customer is. And if they are that person, then we send them a calendar invite to be on the show. Sometimes we also have 20-minute, these are more like discovery calls. These might be people that come into our ecosystem through our website, they send DMs, and we jump on just to find out a little bit more. That's our standard call that you could have either with me or my brother. And then if we're dealing, this 20-minute can also be an opportunity. We're gonna put the $. It could be, again, collaborations, it could be podcast guesting, it could be maybe it's a referral for the business. And then if the content is correct, then we send them again another link for the interview. Now once the interview happens, we say a quick thank you email where thank you so much for the experience, thank you so much for being on the show, for giving us all this value. Genuine thank you, because most people are incredible that come to the show. And then after that, there's some follow-up that happens. So that follow-up can be a DM, that follow-up can be a call, that follow-up can be social media, and so on and so on and so on. There's been times that we've been really good at it. There's been times that we can definitely get better. But at the end of the day, all this is designed to see what the opportunity could look like of working together. The secret sauce though is right here, right after the interview, where we go ahead and we say 3 things, right? Those 3 things are like, first of all, thank you so much for coming to the show. This was an incredible experience. Is there anything else that we can do for you? So we always ask like, what else can we do? Maybe make an introduction, maybe share some of our frameworks and different things, or there's some different asks. For example, one of the people that were there, Justin, he's releasing a book, so we're obviously heavy promoting on his book. The second thing is like we present the opportunities like, hey, I don't know if this is for you, but we provide this service or we do XYZ. I would love to show you a quick demo, or I would love to send you some of this, or I would like to send you a game plan, and then maybe we can start collaborating together. And then after the opportunity ask, then we're like, hey, now that you've been on the show and that you kind of know the flow of it, who's somebody that you think it could be a good fit. We're looking for so and so and so, and we name our ideal guest. More often than not, people are gonna give us between 1 or 3 names. Every single conversation, we get 3 names, and that's how we keep the pipeline of the referrals. We go back. It's my beautiful graph. We go back from here all the way to referrals. That keeps feeding the show. That keeps feeding the pipeline, that keeps feeding into the opportunities that we might be able to collaborate with. So some of these opportunities have been speaking on stages. Some of those opportunities have been guesting on very big shows or collaborating at live events like we just did at PopFest, and they put us in all their marketing material and part of their promotion and part of the launch. Things like that, where we can always communicate with their customer if we are solving a problem for them. So in a nutshell, that is our podcast system, and hopefully you can put it to use, or if you have a system of your own, I would love to hear about it. So yeah, this was a day in the Content is Profit production, just a little bit. If you want to know more about things like this, just let me know in the comments. We might create some more videos like this. Thank you, and have a good one.